This is part 3 of Police State. Everything you do, say, make, or interact with now is legally set, intellectually codified in the United States, allowing for virtually no personal freedom anymore. No personal freedom of thought or action, and even speech. Empowering much of it is the financial drive behind all functioning in the United States and world: money. If you get a traffic ticket in Texas and it isn't paid, then if you get stopped in Arizona, you will get arrested, handcuffed, and taken to jail until you pay your ticket in Texas. Is that really how you want to operate society, based on punishment, fear, and imprisonment, all tightly hinged to money? Driving now is essential to function in most places, and states, for financial reasons, have decided to enforce other states' traffic citations for mutual financial benefit. So much of what people do today requires daily interaction with operating a vehicle. Is it really right to be handcuffed and taken to jail for a traffic ticket unpaid somewhere? There are even laws commanding you to wear a seatbelt in your own car or get fined. This is the financial legal control imposed upon supposedly free people. Before the invention of the automobile, policing was probably more likely friendly and service-oriented to most people. Today, you are most likely to interact with police based on your automobile, and that interaction is mostly negative and punitive. This aspect and effect on people in society is damaging. It'd be better to have guidelines than laws surrounding the use of a car for most things. When accidents happen, those not following the common guidelines of driving could be held to the greater burden of recovery or justice. Laws have been passed to punish you for not doing things. Is this the degree to which society is going to force an individual to do something? In other areas like medicine, the costs of the current legal principality foster lawsuits and excessive waste. Punishment and the fear of lawsuit equals workings of money have created an incredibly inefficient medical system that society cannot bear the cost thereof. We act like people are not supposed to die. The current legal system is an absurdity, corrupt, and run by people whose egos are so big they have less chance than the camel of going through the eye of a needle to ascend. The best attorneys I know left the business and did something else. They know it is first and foremost a self-serving business and corrupt. Lawyers become judges and continue the dive into intellectual imprisonment, bias, and inequality in law. I'm sure there are a few that would actually like the system to work fairly, but they know it does not. Anyone who practices law knows this is true. There is a better way, and you can figure it out. I know many medical students who became doctors. I'd say 85% cared about people when they started, and about 15% care by the time they're done and in the business world. I also know a lot of people who went to law school. I'd say about 15% cared about humanity when they started, and probably less than 1% by the time they really get going in the business world. But that's how you are entrusting much of the responsibility of society to, unfortunately. It's all about them. Wrong principalities in society have moved human experience this awful direction. I've seen it from multiple perspectives. Legal code and enforcement is everywhere. You can be sued for anything. Signs that say slippery when wet are placed there for legal reasons, usually not for one's protection, really. False concern is everywhere and devalues true caring. It influences humanity. One can see the false caring society when you see your politician saying anything to the people to get elected. Lying to the public, or a failure to recall, as is the legally defined best way to answer questions, is rampant, and being accepted by the public so common it has become. Damaging principles are being accepted into our spiritual psyches, and this is why it must end. Every design of anything is legally hinged now. Law is a financial business, not a resolution of conflict or protection function anymore, which is what they should be. Should you really be fined and penalized for so much of this human behavior? It is a huge wrong turn in society that works against the spirit and human evolution. It is an intellectually codified, legally defined society, and it makes it a police state when everything is enforced to the finite degree. People have intellectualized themselves into idiocy. The legalized police state is one of the most damaging principalities of this world, and probably the most entrenched and therefore difficult to change. If the West fails, this will be the primary reason, as it will require the most cooperation to change, and politicians, judges, and lawyers will oppose it, and they currently control the operation of U.S. society to a great degree. Where is the freedom? Freedom is currently a lie. The intellectual, written legalization, codification, enforcing of everything you do or say or how you conduct yourself, or what is made in the United States, has ruined the liberty of human evolution. A police state is a society predominantly run and enforced by fear and punishment and a lack of freedom to exist as a free human being. Mayberry no longer exists in the United States. A massive prison system has evolved to contain and control the human fallout from this disastrous system.